welcome back to my channel. It's me, Ivana, and today we are doing my everyday makeup tutorial. I will be showing you how I go from this to this, and I hope you guys enjoy. We'll do an updated skincare routine, but I did want to just show you the SPF that I've been using because I do find it so important to have an SPF that does not have a white cast, because I will find myself having to overcorrect. Skin Proud Serious Shade Sunscreen. Other than that, I really don't use a lot of like skincare products in the morning that are like specific to skin prep. I like this because it is like a serum. It has a very lovely texture, so if you have drier skin, which I don't, but I just like to pamper my skin, this is amazing, and you don't have to rub and tug on your skin at all, and it goes away literally completely. So I'm obsessed with it. I've been using it for about a week or so now, and I haven't noticed any breakouts, so I think we found a one. So I'm very excited about it, and I will keep you guys updated via my TikTok. But other than that, everything else that I'm using today, tried and true. Like, y'all will notice labels are rubbed off, components are cracked, broken. Like, I did my best to clean everything up, but these are my products I've been riding with for a while. But I would describe my skin tone as medium deep. That's usually where I'm at in the color scale. And I also have a neutral undertone, so I have quite a, like, it might come off yellow because of lighting at times, but I'm actually quite like greenish toned, really. So I am pretty neutral. Some will say warm and things like that, but I'm definitely in the neutral side. So first, these are all different coverages and kind of types, so it's up to you, but these are all match pretty much perfectly for my skin tones. First one is the Jones Road What the Face foundation tint. This is your skin but better in a bottle. I'm not a huge fan of the packaging. I'm not even gonna hold you, like the tub is like, it's absolutely so messy. You have to stir it because it separates, but the finish, I mean, it's incredible. It really does. It just looks like skin. It matches incredibly. This would be probably a little bit on the pinker side for me. I'll give you a swatcheroonie. Like, get out of here. The Amy Cole Skin Enhancing Tint. I've recently become a huge fan of Amy Cole. They just know exactly what they're doing as far as undertones. It is incredible. I have this one in medium 1. It's almost hard to see, and I am swatching it kind of on like the perimeter of my face is the darkest part of my face, so keep that in mind. But like, where is it? This one is more of a buildable coverage. I would put this in the like a straight up medium category. This is the Merit complexion stick, and I have this one in shade Sienna. This is the first foundation that's ever perfectly matched me, and I am devoted to it. I love it. I think it's great. You can use it as a concealer. I actually believe it's called the Minimalist. This one is on the warmer side, but stunning. It blends so well into the skin. It's so easy to put on. Last but not least, my most full coverage, but it still gives skin. I love the look of skin. I think it's just important for your foundation not to look cakey. So this is the Dior Forever Matte. This is in the shade 4.5W. I highly recommend going into Sephora and getting shade matched because they really will help you. And if you have a profile, when you go online to look at other foundations, it will automatically circle the one that should be your best match. So, and this one's probably the most yellow. So as you can see, these are the kind of the spectrum of the foundations that I use on a daily basis, kind of just depending on what I want. This is a Dior how it starts, and this is a Dior how it ends. So don't let the swatch fool you. It's so blendable. It's kind of crazy. But first, I actually start with my eyebrows. So this is the Refi Eyebrow Gel. This is what I start all of my makeup with, just because I find it to have a bit of a white cast, which you can completely get rid of. It's not a huge deal to me, but I don't like how it looks with the rest of my makeup on, so I just start with this. I I brush it up, brush it through. I am currently growing out my eyebrows, so this really helps tame them. So it looks like that when you first put it in. And then what you're gonna wanna do is in the cap, there's these perfect little tools. I like to go through with the brush end and brush them up and press them down. So this kind of gives that laminated look. This is also gonna take all those like white fibers and kind of push them to the top of your brow so you can kind of collect them later. And then I take the comb part and I just comb through the top to, you know, get rid of that excess white, as well as just shape them, because my eyebrows are long. I have really long eyebrow hairs. I don't have thick brows, I just have long hair all over my face. So that's how I shape them. I do put quite a bit amount, like a good amount of product goes into my brows, so I try to give everything a little bit of time to settle, and while I do that, I'm going to prime my face. This is just what I've been using lately. I've been using it up, so I do like it. This is the Milk Pore Eclipse Mattifying Primer, and I just press it into my skin. I also like this because it is a mattifying primer, but it doesn't pill. I noticed that some mattifying primers will kind of like bead up, and that's not cute. Now that my eyebrows should be a little more set now, I go in with this NYX Lift and Snatch marker. This is in black, and it's a light black. Like, don't be intimidated by it. It's nothing like an eyeliner or anything like that. And I go in and I get these areas down here that are less dense to help form that brow look. And all you need are light strokes. This is actually probably one of the easier tools. I know brow markers can be intimidating, but I find that they're very forgiving as well. I go in especially to the front of my brow because if you notice when you fill in your brows, it actually kind of narrows your nose in a way. And just like if you widen this space or keep it too clear, your face can look wider than it is. It applies the product very lightly, which is what I like. It's not very bold. They're very subtle little brow hairs. Just to make sure everything looks more natural, I then go in with the Merit, I love this. This is the Merit Black Brown Volumizing Brow Pomade. You could also use an untinted one if you like, but I love the tint because it just adds a little something extra, and this brush is fantastic. I've used this for years. I just always go back to it. It's so good. And if it's a really chill day, I'll just use this and the Refi powder, or the Refi brow gel, and you'll be good. I like this. It gives a nice sculpted brow, but it's also kind of like fluffy and textured because that is kind of the look of my brows. They are pretty textured, so it's important that they don't look too flat onto my face or shiny. I do not like a shiny brow. All of these products will give you a matte brow, which I really like. Lately, I've actually been going in with concealer on my brows, which I find kind of, it's new to me. You know, I feel like that's just kind of like old school, but since my brows are slightly overgrown and they don't really have a huge, like a defined shape, I have noticed that putting a concealer on underneath really helps. These concealers are amazing. These are another one by Amy Cole, and blend it out. But I don't like using any sort of like highlight underneath my brow. I think just matching my skin tone is enough. It can quickly turn into like a 2016 makeup look if you're not careful. There's not a lot of tools I really really recommend. There's just gonna be a couple throughout this tutorial, but the Beauty Blender, guys, I know that there are so many dupes out there, and I've tried a lot, but there is something to this point that nobody else can get right. Like when I first put this like right here, I was like, like it was just contact that my face hadn't had before. It's worth it. It really is quite worth it. I do not think that anyone has actually quite replicated that point just yet. If you think that someone has, definitely recommend it to me because I'm very curious, because this point is fantastic. The blend is unreal. There's a reason they're on top, baby. So now that my face is framed, I will go in with my foundation, skin tint, wherever I'm using that day. Today it is definitely an Amy Cole day because it's just seamless. Like, look. Like, you know it's good when your camera focuses because it's like, look, like it doesn't, my face, like, the lighting completely changed because it's like, oh wait, what is that? It's perfection. So I could either use a beauty blender, but today I do want to go for a more full coverage look just so you guys can see it better on camera. So I do like a dense flat brush for this. This one is from e.l.f. I've used this for years. Like, I've used this probably since I started wearing makeup. Not this exact brush, I will admit they will break down on you, but you will get a few good years out of the e.l.f. $3 brush. Next, I go in with my Merit Monarch Bronze Balm. This is baby. Like, if you don't have a cream contour that you like, I highly recommend checking these out. I noticed that these actually get not darker as you use them, but it has that, like, I think there's just like that little cast on there when you first start to use it, and then it gets a little darker. So I put it on my forehead, my cheekbones. I just like shorten my nose and my chin with it as well. These are just the regular areas I put on if I'm not doing like an intense contour that day. And then I have this Real Techniques brush where I like to kind of just flick up my contour, make sure everything is giving a very lifted look when I start my blend, and you know, make sure it's blending into my hairline. I just find this moves product really well, precisely and in the direction that you want it to be in. And then I take a denser brush and I blend out any harsh lines. Then I always do my concealer after my contour just because there could be mistakes. So I go back in with the concealer that is a perfect match to my skin tone, and I put a little bit under my eyes. Lifty lift. I also especially get right here. If you have pigmentation around your nose, it can kind of make it look it just makes your nose look weird, to be honest. Like, it's not even like it makes it look wider, it just looks weird. And it doesn't look accurate to your actual face because it's basically like a shadow. I also go around my lips, like almost like a lip blush look. And a touch on my forehead. Those are my usual placements. I also get the inner corners as well because I do have very dark eyes. And if you want fuller coverage, you can always just let your concealer sit on your face for a while. Like, sometimes I'll let my concealer sit and I'll go to my bathroom, do my edges, whatever I feel like doing that day, and then I'll come back. And I roll a little bit of the excess on my chin to highlight, and then go around my lips. I notice all of this is to make your lips look bigger, your eyes look brighter, and your face just a little more accurate to how you actually look. I do notice that hyperpigmentation things can kind of just make your face look different than the actual shape that it is. So I think just correcting gives you a look that is actually more accurate to who you are. Does that make sense? Okay, once I feel nice and blended, I will start setting. So as far as my setting powder, I do not have one that I'm like head over heels for. Right now, I do really like the finish of the Refi powder, or Refi powder. I like it, especially like all over setting, gorgeous, but for under my eyes, I still haven't found anything that I absolutely love. So if you guys could leave me some recommendations, I would really appreciate that. But the Refi powder does leave an insane finish. Like, this is skin in a square. I also put it right on top of my brows. I try not to move anything. For my contour area, I like to go in with this powder. Y'all, I told you, the hinges, I knocked the hinges off my makeup, y'all. This is the Kosas Cloud Set in Softly. And I will pat onto like where I contoured. And see, you know it's starting to look good when you start smiling, bro. Like, that's when you know. This is the Urban Decay Half Baked palette. She is well loved. I'm obsessed with these little mini palettes from Urban Decay. Like, A, they're affordable. B, they fit in every travel bag, and they're very curated. And I noticed that, like, I really don't have to go into any other palette. So I am a huge fan of these. I start with Buck Off, and I just put this all over my lid. It never looks like you're doing too much, and that's probably my favorite thing about it, is just casual. And I really blend out the edges. Last proper tool recommendation, my favorite eyeliner brush is actually the MAC, whatever, 266 I think, but really a good angled brush is all you need. I am a huge fan of doing powder for your eyeliner. I think it is so pretty. It's so pretty. It's so like sultry and soft, and it's perfect for every day, especially if you like I like a little length to my eyes, a little lift, a little something. So this really adds it without it being like a harsh liquid liner. For like my everyday face, I'm going to use Edible. Put it on a little brush like this. Tap off any excess. I'll get close. And then I start right at the corner. So at the very corner of my eye. Not my lash line, the corner of my eye, if that makes sense. And I just flick it up. And then I flick it back. It's so soft and pretty. And then I also take a little bit onto the inner corner of my eyes just to give that like siren look. Okay, so I went ahead and did one eye with mascara. This is my favorite mascara. It makes my lashes the way I like my lashes, which I guess is like, it's like separated, thick, pretty. This is the Tower 28 Make Waves mascara. It's just so good. I love the brush. I love everything about it. It's just, ugh. It's so good. If you've like, I feel like I have short lashes, so if you have shorter lashes, I just like the way it grips them. Like it grips them and gets every single lash. And if you put on like a light, like this is like a light layer. It's like fluffy, pretty. This one's a little more like thick, I guess, but kind of just depends what you like. And lately I've been opting for no bottom mascara. I like to have like a top heavy eye. I don't know why. I just think it's cute. Okay, so now we are on to the rest of the face. Just to add a little bit of color, I did want to show you a couple of my favorite blush options. I only have a couple at the moment. First is the Amy Cole Desert Day Cream Multi-Stick in Dune. This is like your proper dusty rose. It's really pretty. And then there's also the Merit Flush Balm in Persimmon. And this is going to give you more of like a punchier pink color. Or not pink, it's more of like a poppy. And I really, really like it. And this is what I'm going to use today. I'll actually apply this really lightly with a duo fiber brush. And I like to use actually quite a small brush for my blush. And I like to apply it right here. I love that like fresh, lifted look. I think it's just really pretty. And it works well with my face shape. I think that's my biggest advice I can give you, is to try different things based on your face shape and what you like, because when people always ask me like, oh, how do you do your makeup? It's like, I know how to do my makeup because I know my face, because I spent a lot of time doing my makeup. But that's really what will save you, is like, don't do stuff just because you see other people do it. Of course, like, try it, but find people that have a similar face shape to you, and you will be more successful with your makeup because you will like it way more. I also do a little bit on my nose just because I think that's cute. Like, there are, there's trendy things you can do that are still like cute and work for everybody, but modify it. This is my try and true combo. I'm obsessed with this lip liner. Refi makes the best lip liners in the game. This one is in the shade Sepia. I just line it lightly. I do a really thick line at the bottom of my lip just to give that pout. So at the end there's this little pot that has like this silicone-y setting magic. I don't know what to call it. But this makes your lips stay on all day. Like, you can rub them on anything, they're staying on all day. And then I go in with my Merit lip oil, or Shade Slick Tinted Lip Oil in Taupe. Y'all, this is the perfect gloss. Like, I don't know why the word taupe I was like, that seems gray and not for me. No, it's for us. Like, it's one of those glosses you do not have to try and think about it at all. You don't have to, like, I'm wearing lip liner for the fun of it, for the, it's cute, this is what I wear, but you can wear this by itself and still look cute, which I find is really hard for us, melanated folk. It's kind of hard to find lip glosses that just look good on their own and don't do that weird ashy thing. But this one, and it's so comfortable. It wears beautifully on the lips and it just looks so fresh. This is very much me. This is how I look most days. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will definitely take any recommendations for setting powders, concealers, my girls that live in the humid areas with oily skin. Please put me on, because I do not feel like it is completely perfected, but this is just what I use every day to achieve this look. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you like it, don't forget to leave me a like. If you like me, don't forget to subscribe. If you want to see more of me, you can always check me out on my Instagram and TikTok, as well as Pinterest. They are all Ivana. And I will see you in my next video. I hope this one found you in the best place possible. Bye!